Before we begin the action, please hit that subscribe button and do press the bell icon. And if you like the video, please like it and share it as well. For many years now, the Indian MUV segment has been completely dominated by the Toyota Innova. Now, a lot of manufacturers tried dethroning the Innova but couldn't even come close to achieving that task, and now it is still the Innova Crysta that rules the roost. Now we have MG Motors, a new car maker which has got the Innova Crysta in its crosshair, and that is with the new Hector Plus that we are driving today and will be launched very soon. Now the Hector Plus directly takes on the likes of the Innova Crysta, the XUV 500 and the likes. Now, is the Hector Plus up to the job, and can it really put a dent in that segment? Well, let's find out. As far as design is concerned, a quick glance might not separate the Hector Plus from the Hector, but have a second look and it's clear that the Hector Plus features an updated design. Up front, you can see the grille is now much wider than the Hector, and of course it has an updated design. Along with that, the headlamps and the front bumper too have been reworked, which give the Hector Plus a slightly sharper and a premium look. Overall, not a great deal of change in the design, but that's not a bad thing because the Hector is a relatively new model and a nice looking one. As far as the side profile is concerned, the Hector Plus doesn't look very different from the standard Hector, but it's around the C-pillar that you can see. The panel features an extension and it clearly looks longer. At the rear there are updated tail lamps, an updated bumper and a new skid plate, which give the Hector Plus again a little difference from the standard Hector, and it looks a bit wider, a bit more premium. Now, one interesting bit about the Hector Plus is that since of course it features 3 rows of seats, it is longer than the standard Hector, but there is no change in terms of width, and the wheelbase also is the same. Now, it's mainly due to the reworked bumpers that you have the additional length, but what does that translate into in terms of cabin space, and how good are the 3 rows of seats now? Well, let's head inside the cabin and find out. Now, once you're inside the Hector Plus, there is some bit of difference compared to the standard Hector, and that is primarily in the terms of the dashboard color, the design. So now you get a dual tone brown leather interior upholstery, and it looks quite premium. I like the shade, and of course it looks well. It's been implemented well across the dashboard and the door panels, so it looks premium. The fitment quality again overall is quite impressive, so no complaints there. And of course the highlight of the cabin is this 10.4-inch touch screen, which is very Tesla-like and has a very good visual effect. The screen is good to use, and of course the Hector Plus, like the Hector and the ZS, is a connected car, so it comes with an inbuilt SIM, and that means you get access to MG iSmart, and that means you get access to more than 50 connectivity or smart features, and that means you can do a lot of things, including remotely switching your engine on or off through your smartphone, geofencing, getting vehicle updates, seeing how much range you can cover in the amount of fuel that you have in the tank, and a lot more. Of course, now the update to this system in the Hector Plus is that you get a chit-chat functionality which allows you to talk with the car. Now, this means you can ask things such as, how am I looking today, and who drives better, me or my wife? Now, it's a feature that might look good to have maybe for a day or two, but I'm not sure I would really want to talk to a car. So I think this is a feature I would pass off more as a gimmick, not as functionality. But yes, the overall functionality of the infotainment system is quite nice. It's a good display and it is loaded with features up to the brim. Apart from that, again, the overall interior quality is spot on. Again, there is good amount of cushioning in the seats. The seats are quite nice and there is a good amount of support as well. The door pockets are large enough. You have an infinity music system, good sound quality, and you have this really nice looking panoramic sunroof too. So no complaints really in terms of the front cabin experience. Not a drastic change, but whatever changes have been made just uplift the overall cabin appeal a bit more. Now this is the most important seat in the Hector Plus, and this is precisely the reason why most of you will be buying this vehicle. The all important middle row. Now the Hector Plus comes in a 6-seat configuration. Now this is a 6-seat configuration which we have with us right now. So it's got 2 plus 2 plus 2. So it's a 6-seater vehicle, and these captain seats in the middle row are quite a nice place to be in. Now if I talk about the seat itself, it's a nice seat. Again, just like the front, you've got good cushioning, good support, and of course in terms of headroom also, there is no problem inside the Hector Plus. Now if I talk about leg room, you can see right now I have the driving seat adjusted to my driving preference, 5 feet 8 inches for reference, and you can see that with the middle row pushed completely forward, I still have a little bit of leg room to spare. However, I can push it all the way this back, and you can see the amount of leg room that instantly gets liberated. So this is quite a lot of space. So even if you are someone who's tall, leg room wouldn't be a problem inside the Hector Plus. Of course, once I place the seat to my preference, even the backrest is adjustable. So finding that right seating position isn't going to be a problem inside the Hector Plus at all. Beyond that, again, you've got the AC vents here, and you also have a USB charging socket here. So that's for your added convenience. The door pockets again are large enough, and like I said, these are manually adjustable seats. Now up front, you've got electrically adjustable seats, which is a nice touch. And interestingly, if you opt for the variant that we are driving right now, which is the petrol variant with a dual clutch transmission, you get both seats up front electrically adjustable. However, if you opt for the manual version with the hybrid functionality, which is the 48-volt hybrid motor, well, in that case you will get only the driver's seat with the electrical adjustability option, as the shotgun seat comes manually adjustable since it has the battery. So getting into the last row of the Hector Plus, well, as you saw, it's not that difficult but not that easy at the same time. It completely depends on how large your body is. So yes, it can be an accessibility issue for some. But that said, this seat is not really suited for adults, and at best, even if kids are to be in the seat, it is suited only for short duration or short distances. And that is because the seat itself sits quite low, and that means that you have your legs pointing up, so you have your knee quite up in the air, which means there is no under thigh support. So that can make things a bit uncomfortable if you're going to be here for a long duration. Apart from that, also there's not much of leg room on offer, and headroom again is just about okay. In terms of comfort, you get third row AC vents, some cup holders, and the blower settings for the air conditioning, along with a USB charging outlet. So that's about it. The seat itself, I would say, is not really comfortable, but yes, as a 6-seat vehicle, the Hector Plus does offer you that functionality and lives up to the expectation of being a decent 6-seat vehicle. But at best, this seat is suited only for short distances or short duration. Now let's talk about the boot in the Hector Plus, and before I come to the space, well, let me tell you a new feature that has been added to the Hector Plus, and that is the swipe functionality, which means, well, you can just swipe your foot across the lower part of the rear bumper, and that means the tailgate will open automatically. So that means you get hands-free access to this. And apart from that, if I talk about the space at the rear, well, of course, with 3 rows of seats, right now the available boot space is quite limited at best. Maybe you can fit in 2 medium-sized bags here, but you do have the option of folding down these seats, and when you do that, you have the ability to completely collapse the row, and that would just liberate a lot more boot space. So yes, there's a lot of flexibility in terms of space that you can work around inside the Hector Plus. And like I said earlier, this is an electrically operated tailgate, so to close it, all you need to do is press the button and voila. Now let's talk about the performance of the Hector Plus. Now, if you're going to be someone who's going to be in the driver's seat, what you will get as an option is a choice between a 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol engine and a 2 litre diesel engine. The one that we're driving right now is the turbocharged petrol engine with a DCT, that's a dual clutch transmission. And well, this is not the hybrid model. Of course, if you opt for the manual transmission, what you will get with the same engine is the mild hybrid mode. So that's a 48-volt hybrid architecture, and that means you also get access to auto start-stop and brake energy regeneration. So, but that's not the variant that we're driving right now. Now, as far as the engine is concerned, what you get in terms of power is a 143 PS output. Now, this is in comparison to the 170 odd PS power output that you get with the diesel motor. Now, the one that we are driving right now, the petrol one, well, it is quite refined to drive. There is no unwanted sound or vibration from the motor filtering inside the cabin. So yes, if it's a refined, a comfortable drive that you're looking for, the Hector Plus does deliver well on that front. In terms of engine performance, the power, well, the engine has adequate power to propel the weight of this vehicle, and that means that reaching highway speeds, triple-digit speeds, is not really a problem, and you can easily reach those speeds. Of course, even in terms of quick acceleration, whenever you want that power, it's there on tap. So that is a good thing to have. Again, it's not a vehicle that when you push the pedal to the metal is going to shove you back in the seat, but it's enough to take care of your daily requirements, be it in the city or on the highway. Coming to the DCT, well, the DCT is not really one of the most refined units around, and that is primarily because it's a bit notchy. At times you can feel a perceivable lag from it, and it doesn't really function in the same manner all the time. So yes, it's also not the fastest unit around. So again, it's not really one of those dual clutch transmissions that gives you any sort of driving joy. It basically offers you the convenience of an automatic, and that's about it. In terms of driving experience, well, again, the Hector Plus is not something which you would buy for driving performance, but for everything else, be it comfort, be it luxury, be it a refined ride quality, the vehicle delivers well. And speaking of ride quality, well, that's really nice. And if you are looking for a chauffeur-driven vehicle and you're going to be in the middle seat, the Hector Plus really performs well. It's got a soft suspension setup. That means all the road undulations and the bumps are filtered out in a nice manner, and that means you get a smooth and a comfortable backseat experience. As far as handling is concerned, again, like I said, this vehicle is slightly longer than the Hector, but in terms of weight, despite the addition of the third row of seats, there's not much of a difference. There's only a 12 kilo difference in terms of curb weight between this and the standard petrol Hector, which means there's not a big world of difference. And of course, the wheelbase is also the same. So not much of a difference in terms of handling or in terms of straight line performance or drag on engine. It's again a vehicle that performs well. You can go around at high speeds, and the highway stability at high speeds is quite nice. It's not a vehicle that really enjoys taking corners at a fast pace. So, well, and it's not aimed at doing that as well. But yes, it's a stable and a neutral vehicle. And yes, as far as ferrying people in comfort is concerned, well, that's what it's aimed at, and that's precisely what it does well. So should you buy the MG Hector Plus over the Toyota Innova Crysta or the Mahindra XUV 500? Well, price is something we don't know for this vehicle as of now, because that will be revealed shortly, but bookings are on at an amount of rupees 50,000. What I can tell you right now is, as far as features are concerned, luxury and connectivity are concerned, these are areas where the Hector Plus is miles ahead of its rivals. There is no competition at all. And this is an area where the Hector Plus really shines. Now, there are, of course, things in the overall package which could have been better, which I already discussed earlier. But the most important part that remains to be disclosed is the pricing. Now, if MG can price the Hector Plus from a starting price of, say, just a little bit under rupees 14 lakh rupees, going all the way to a bit under rupees 19 lakh, I think that is where the Hector Plus would hit the sweet spot, because at that price, it would be offering the customers a lot more features than the rivals, but at the same time at a significantly lower price.